escalate everything. People that, Americans are going to feel like they're being threatened. It's going to look like martial law when something like that happens. It's okay if they send a little bit of the National Guard, so to say, to help on the, the paper side, to do things like that. But really, we need to get these Border Patrol back out there doing their job on the border securing, because in that recent report, we found out that a lot of people other than just, Central Americans are coming across the border.
Yes.
Iranians, people with Hezbollah, contacts, things like that. That's scary. That's a huge issue. We just have people like that able to slip through our cracks and into the country. And it is indeed a chance that a false flag could happen.
You said it would look a little bit like martial law. Actually, that's what they've been wargaming for quite some time. If you go all the way back to Oliver North's Rex 84, they're talking about conditions that they could enact martial law with through FEMA and other ways of doing that. If they put enough military on the border to effectively seal it off, it will be martial law. And, Joe, I'm always amazed that men in power will make two mistakes rather than admit to one. When they incentivize these people to come in, when they say, go ahead and come in, we'll give you all the free benefits, we'll give you free health care, we'll give you everything for free, they're incentivizing it. And, of course, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and other business leaders are pushing that as well, just like they pushed Obamacare. When they incentivize that, and then at the same time, we now have some of the Democrats as well as Republicans joining with this general and saying, that's right, we need the military at the border. We need to essentially create martial law. That is a very worrying thing for me. They could create some kind of a, turn America into a roach motel where you can get into it, but you can't get out. I don't want to see that.
Once they got out here and set up, all it takes is one little incident to spark, and next thing you know, they're permanently here. We got tanks rolling up and down the street every day, and there's curfews not only for kids like they have, but it'll be for everyone. I mean, this is a huge issue right now, and the Obama administration has completely orchestrated this.
Yes, yes, and I think we need to look at this narrative that they've always used of children and saying that, don't worry, everything is just fine. We hear all these reports from NPR and other mainstream media that, don't worry, we've got children in these places, but there's not really any health concerns. Meanwhile, we see that ICE agents are getting scabies, and now we have reports of tuberculosis spreading at campuses. This is a report from Fox News, Todd Starnes, and he says that HHS thinks that the children coming across are just fine, but he's talked to some people who say that he's got children there showing classic signs of tuberculosis, spitting up blood, constant cough, and chest pain. This is being reported to him by nurses, and they said more than 7,000 children have been processed through 2 camps. And, of course, one of these they're talking about is Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, where you've been a couple of times to try to get reports.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge issue. I mean, the fact that, the CDC and people like that are ignoring a lot of these issues, it's just mind-blowing that our country is coming to this. I want to show you one thing real quick. Look at this over here. We're right now, since there's no one out here, this is where the pro-amnesty area is. As you can see, Fox News is set up over here. They want to make sure that America sees the children, the little hearts and minds and things like that. That's the whole game they're trying to play. They're not trying to get to the real issue that this is going to hurt this small town here in Marietta, the good people of this town. They're worried about going bankrupt and losing everything over this, and they're not going to take it anymore.
Well, it's not just there. We've also seen that for quite some time, this has been bankrupting people in Texas. And I think that's part of the problem, Joe. People don't realize, because this has been trickling for quite some time, they don't realize that the dam is essentially bursting. They've seen a dam that has developed a couple of leaks, and the leaks have gotten bigger. But this is a dam that is actually burst right now, and people can't get that into their minds. They don't really see the difference with it. The only thing that the public is being told by the mainstream media is now that the only difference is we've got all these very young children coming in, but that's not the case, is it?
Yeah, I mean, all they show, whenever you go to any site, any mainstream site, you just see a bunch of kids laying on the ground. That first initial process when they go through, they don't ever talk about what happens after that. How 90% of them don't even show up to come to court like they're supposed to, and how they're just being dropped into our country. This is a huge issue right now. I mean, this is one of the biggest things going on right now, and our president won't even come out here and talk to it, talk to anybody about this. And I was talking to some of the pro-amnesty people last night. I mean, they were even peed off at the fact that the president wouldn't even come down here and acknowledge the situation whatsoever. I mean, he's too busy playing golf every day.
Yeah, exactly. And, of course, he's spending massive amounts in warfare, trying to start wars everywhere across the world. And one of the biggest wars that is really precipitating all this is the war on drugs. Have you heard anything from people there in terms of stepped-up violence or people that are coming in that are part of the drug gangs? Or is this facility just having children shipped in?
Yeah, they're just having the children shipped in. I haven't heard anything about that. But right now, kind of as we're speaking, it's starting to build up a lot more. Throughout the day, I'm expecting a lot more people to be coming through here. So we'll definitely be able to ask that question and find out.
Well, they're sending 140 people every 72 hours just to that one facility. And we have seen the numbers of estimated people coming across the border double and then double again. And those are just estimates.
Expecting one Thursday.
Yeah. We're going to be right back. Stay with us. We'll be right back with our reporters in Murrieta, California. This is InfoWars. I'm David Knight in Austin. Stay with us.
Do you ever feel like you live in an alternate universe? As the stock market hits new highs, the middle class are dying. Manipulated financial markets and economic figures, chaos on our border, China and Russia bypassing the dollar. Life is getting ready to change. You need to prepare to thrive in the new economy. Go to babyboomerbackupplan.com or call 888-507-8789. That's 888-507-8789.
There's one major factor affecting the health of millions, and most people are completely unaware. Acid levels. Soda, meat, dairy, caffeine, and sugar can all lead to elevated acid levels in the body. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops get the body's pH levels back in perfect balance. It's a holistic, natural, and powerful approach that will give you greater health, vitality, and zest for life. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops. Visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
Hi folks, Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his two-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
It seems that everywhere you turn to these days, people are talking about the health benefits of silver. But don't be fooled into believing all silver is the same. Only one silver solution has been clinically shown to be hundreds of times stronger than colloidal or ionic silver. That's supernatural silver. It can be used internally as a powerful immune system enhancer to fight off bacteria and viruses. Supernatural silver can be used topically to treat any type of wound or skin issue. It's even gentle enough to be used on the ears, eyes, and sinuses. And unlike harsh drugs and antibiotics, supernatural silver has no side effects. Available as a liquid or a gel that you can use every day to stay healthy and well. To experience outstanding customer service and to place your order, visit supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code SILVER2014 for 20% off your entire order. Give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver. Only at supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show on this July 8th, 2014. I'm David Knight in Austin, and I'm talking to Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs in Murrieta, California. This is where there's been a pushback by the citizens of that area against the massive influx of people that are being brought in by the Obama administration. Now, of course, the mainstream media is trying to carefully control this narrative to make it about compassion, to make it about children, and to say that anybody who speaks out against this is against children is racist. And yet, many of us know that this is about a Cloward and Piven strategy to take down this country, to collapse the borders, to collapse the economy. This goes back to the 1960s. Cloward and Piven, very well-known sociologists by people who look and study politics. And, of course, it's not just us that's saying this. We've even got congressmen who are pointing this out. Stephen King out of Iowa told WorldNet Daily, if you don't see them bring reinforcements down there to seal the border, that means that, yes, it is a Cloward and Piven maneuver to flood the country until we get to the point where we are an open borders country that welcomes everybody, legal and illegal. That quote is in an article up on Infowars.com from Paul Joseph Watson that says that Obama is giving the Marietta area ICE agents, that's the Immigration and Customs Enforcement people, a temporary paid leave. He doesn't want immigration enforced. He's sending them away. Says, go home. We'll continue to pay you. Just don't enforce the borders. It is clear that's what's going on. So InfoWars has sent reporters out. Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs we're talking to in this hour. We're going to also be talking to Jakari Jackson in the next hour. Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs, we're trying to get the information out that the mainstream media is not covering. They're trying to make this all about the children and about racism, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Once again, I'm out here at the U.S. Border Patrol Center in Marietta. Joe Biggs here. I just wanted to let you know that, I spoke to one of the gentlemen last night on the pro-amnesty side, and I asked him, I was like, sir, do you think we should have borders? And he goes, no, we should have zero borders out here. That kind of mindset is just mind-blowing to me. I don't get that at all. And then I said, well, don't you think it's kind of crazy that there's a right way and there's a wrong way to go through this entire immigration process? People join the military to get their citizenship, things like that. I've had friends die going through that process to try to become an American the right way. And he said, no, he's like, we don't need any kind of immigration process, no naturalization, just let everybody in. So that's what the pro-amnesty side is all about, opening the borders, taking them down, and just let everybody roll in here.
Joe, they don't do that in any other country of the world.
Exactly.
They don't do that in Mexico. They don't do that in Honduras or Guatemala. They don't do that anywhere else in the world. And for somebody to say that, that's essentially like saying, I don't think you should have any locks on your doors. I should just be able to move into your house, and you should have to support me. That's essentially what he's saying.
Having these fences is completely racist, apparently, and, true Americans are terrorists. That's the country we live in nowadays, David.
Well, we're going to be talking to Dr. Jerome Corsi because, quite frankly, this fellow that you talked to last night who doesn't believe that we should have any borders, he's agreed with by General Petraeus as well as Nancy Pelosi. They have both said the same thing. Nancy Pelosi said, we just have one large community, north and south. We just happen to have a border running through it. But for her, the border running between different countries makes no more difference than the border, say, running between Texas and Oklahoma. They want to treat it the same way because to her and to David Petraeus, they believe that we are now a unified country. And so we need to just bring those people in to essentially make that effective. That's what David Petraeus said. He said, what comes after America? Well, that's easy. It's North America. We've had NAFTA for 20 years. Now we're seeing that happen. We're seeing that as an established fact. Thank you, Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs. We're going to be back in the next hour with Jakari Jackson, also in Murrieta, California, covering what is happening there. We're going to tell you an angle of it that the mainstream media doesn't. They're trying to spin this to make the protesters there look like they're violent, and yet the people who have been arrested so far, according to Paul Joseph Watson's video that he posted up, looks like they were all pro-immigration supporters. We're going to be right back. Stay with us.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Alex Jones here for Infowars.com. In the month of July, we have got giant specials on everything at Made in1776.com. The already discounted Made in 1776 t-shirts are only $17.76. We have the new belt buckles that in only 2 weeks of sale are very close to selling out. There's only 500 of each. We're talking about Made in America belt buckles in nickeled brass. This is more than a summer blowout special. This is a new declaration of independence. But to expand the InfoWar, we're offering the equivalent of more than 5 months free right now when you get a membership at PrisonPlanet.tv. For a limited time, only $39.95 a year. That's more than 5 months free off the regular price. Not just this July 4th weekend, but the entire month of July at Made in1776.com. Molon Labe, you can take my gun from my cold, dead hands.
We Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.